Why, hello! It's Morgoth the Barbarian in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. And in this video, I will unveil what happened in Week 17, as well as announce what happened in our playoff matchups, and tell you guys what the future holds for this whole Strat-O-Matic thing after we're done with the playoffs. So, sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves for some more football! Something along those lines. Alright, so, first things first, the Week 17 results. We already know about the Commanders and the Eagles. The Commanders thumped the Eagles to win the NFC East. But what about all the other games? Well, here they are. The Week 17 recap starts right about now. So with that out of the way, what are the final results? Well, it looks a little bit something like this. So, as it all turns out, in the AFC, the Miami Dolphins end up winning the East and walk away with the best record in the conference. And no, I did not do that intentionally. I know some of you will be out there going, collusion, dang it. No, that's just how it rolled. I get it. Trust me, this is how it worked out, okay? Okay. The Browns win the South by a game over the Steelers, claim the number 4 overall seed. Indianapolis just beat out Jacksonville for the South title. The Colts are assured 2 home games, meanwhile, while Jacksonville has to head to Cleveland for their playoff game. And the Raiders managed to hang on to the West with 10 wins and a last week win over the Broncos to secure it. As for the wild cards, well, I mentioned Jacksonville's getting 1. And then the Chargers, Steelers, and Patriots all tied with 9 and 8. Due to conference record, the Chargers get the very first wild card tiebreaker out of this. They get the 6th seed and will end up facing the Raiders in the first round. And I can already tell you right now, that'll be our wild card featured game. We will be showing that on Sunday. So buckle up for that one. Raiders, Chargers, Raiders. The 7th seed, meanwhile, this was a doozy because literally every single tiebreaker did not work. If it wasn't for the 3-way tiebreaker, New England would have beaten the Steelers out for this on virtue of their Week 2 win. But I can't do that because the Chargers kind of ruined everything on this. There was a 3-way tiebreaker and I had to do it out. First came the conference record, that failed. Then came common opponents, that failed. We then had to go to strength of schedule, which is, long story short, every team they played, I had to gather their win-loss record, combine it, and by 2 wins, the Steelers actually had a better strength of schedule, so by default, they steal it from New England by kind of the narrowest of margins. So then poor New England gets left out in the cold, no pun intended, also LOL, oh, how unfortunate. And the Steelers somehow sneak into the 7th seed and get Indy in the first round. I don't get it either, but I suppose the Steelers, they're wizards at doing this sort of thing, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised. But yes, the Steelers get it on a strength of schedule tiebreaker. The next one would have been point differential, which New England clearly has. In theory, the next one is actually to flip a coin, but I ain't going that far. So New England would have won, but nope, Steelers win by 2 games on strength of schedule. That's just the way it is. We can all question it later. Oh, and by the way, the Jaguars, Browns, Kind of funny how that's happening for real, only in flipped. That's hilarious. In the NFC, meanwhile, the Packers claim the number one overall seed, and by virtue of their record, actually gets home field throughout the playoffs, meaning if they win the NFC, they will quote-unquote host the Super Bowl. I am giving the team with the better record the home field, so if the Packers win out, they will be the home team regardless of who comes out of the AFC. The Rams got the 2 seed and the 2 home games at 11 and 6 as they clinched the West. Washington gets the East and the 3 seed by conference record. We already saw how that turned out for the Eagles. So it's Washington getting the 3. And Atlanta, thanks to a conference record tiebreaker, gets the 4 seed over Tampa Bay. Aw, how sad for Tom Brady. Who am I kidding? No. Well, unfortunate for the Bucks, but Atlanta steals the 4 seed. Meanwhile, the wild cards. Minnesota starts us off at 10 and 7. Yes, there was a massive 4-team tiebreaker. Someone had to get left out. Minnesota gets it first because of their conference record. They are the 5 seed, and they get to head to Atlanta for the first game. Next came the Detroit Lions at 10 and 6. They get it through 8 and 4. They will be the 6th seed, and they'll head to Washington. Tampa Bay somehow willed their way into a 6th, 7th seed. Tom Brady, you wizard. You managed to will your team into a playoff berth. Well, good luck against the Rams because that's who you're playing. And in an absolute shocker, the 49ers get left out of the cold because of this. 5 and 7. They basically feasted on AFC opponents. That's not going to help you right there. You probably should have won more games against your own conference, and because of that, they are left out. So, sadly, they are eliminated. And then you can see all the other records. And in case you're wondering, the Bears ended up with the worst record of the whole roll, which is hilarious because in this very year, they were legitimately the team with the worst record. The Panthers, it should be noted, had the 2nd worst record, which is also funny because in our timeline, they had the worst record. And then they promptly gave the number 1 pick to the Bears. Funny how that works out. The Ravens and Jets, meanwhile, kind of bring up the rear in the AFC. By the way, all of this is important because I'll address that later. So playoff matchups means that it's Minnesota, Atlanta, Detroit, Washington, Tampa, Rams, and then Green Bay just gets to sit back and watch and who comes out of that. So that's what it looks like from the playoff picture. So, how this is going to work. So I mentioned this Sunday we're doing Chargers-Raiders as our playoff game. Once again, I will roll for the rest off camera. After that, the following week, we'll have the divisional round where I'll pick one of the 4 games and we'll go from there. And then the following week, which equates to about the week before the actual Super Bowl, I will be playing both the AFC and NFC championship games in their entirety, so you'll get not 1 but 2 episodes. Oh my god, what a concept. You'll get the AFC one the Saturday before the Super Bowl and the NFC one both Sunday before. And then on Super Bowl Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because someone decided to have me work on the Super Bowl. But anyways, I digressed. We're live, pal. We're rolling the Super Bowl. And it's going to be live, pal. So, no fast forwarding, no music, just me, and however it plays out. Oh, so be there or be square. Now, as for what happens afterwards, well, I'll tell you this. We're still going on the Strat-O-Matic train afterwards. So on the Sunday after the Super Bowl, after we're done here, I think it's only fair we play out the actual Super Bowl, the one that happens in our timeline, that is. So I guess whoever ends up there as of this recording will end up there. We'll play those out, play that out. And then remember how I was talking about the Jets, Ravens, Bears, and Panthers having the worst records? Well, we're going to spend the next 3 weeks crowning the king of the losers. Those 4 teams are going to face each other in a tournament, and whoever loses both games, tournament games basically, is crowned the king of the losers. Yeah, that's right. You don't earn the number 1 pick in this one. I make you earn it. And to do that, you have to lose. So it looks like, as I'm staring at the records, the Ravens will play the Jets. The Jets have a better conference record, so they get the quote-unquote host. The Panthers will host the Bears. And the losers of those 2 games play each other not the following week, but the week after. We'll do it 1 per week. And whoever loses that tournament gets to be the king of the losers in our league. Oh, and of course I have more other evil, quote-unquote, ideas out there. So stay tuned. As for whether or not I'll pick this up for next season or not, I have no idea. Let's be honest, this was a lot of work, and I, at times, barely was able to keep up with it. So we'll see how I feel for, well, let's say August. I won't have to worry about that until then, so we shall see, folks. We shall see. So we ain't done yet. Let me roll through these playoffs, and then we will be all set. So get ready for even more intense football here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you this Sunday for some more action-packed football. Yes. Okay, I'm done. Bye.